out of the ordinary in the boxing? I'm sure I'm trying to get you, to think about things in the past. But is there anything extraordinary maybe you have seen in the boxing field you want to share with me?
Well, actually, I would say I myself have believed more in practicalities, the causes and effects. You target yourself, you work towards it. You must always have a goal. You must dream of achieving something, and then you work towards it. And most of the times when you are working with boxers, some of them have their own way of setting their target and having their own belief. And me being a national coach, I've experienced a whole lot of these things, because you may be taking a boxer into the ring, and the boxer will tell you, I want to pray before we go. You allow him to pray. He may be a Muslim, he may be a Buddhist, he may be whoever he is. You don't have to be, you have to give the freedom of religion.
You have to respect them.
You have to respect their religion and allow them to do whatever they wanted to do, and then you also take over your practical aspect in terms of what you prepare for and what you wanted to achieve with it.
We're just sending you back to Tokyo, and this was Samuel Techi, winning a medal of 29 years, Ghana's first 29. But you were making a fantastic point there, yes. And and that's you. That's Coach Ofori Asare on the left. I don't want you to forget about what you were talking about earlier, but this was the moment that Ghana had been waiting for 29 years. The last time we had a medal was at Barcelona 1992 Olympic Games. And so to have this happen at Tokyo with you in the corner was such an amazing feat for Ghana. So
well, based on those things, you being a coach, especially the national team coach, you need to be very, very careful not to disturb anybody with what he believes in. And you may also have your belief, but you don't have to impose your belief on anybody. And you make sure that you work with them the way you are supposed to as a coach. You go through all the training rudiments. You have to let them understand how to prepare for the fight, what you have to do, and how.
At this stage, what are you telling him?
Yeah, I think psychologically, when he was fighting, he is fighting. This is what take him to the medal zone, and the boxer is fighting. Is very experienced. He has been to the Olympic Games about 2 or 3 times already.
Colombia.
Before, and Samotechi, this is just his first big tournament of his life. And I told him, you can turn things around. You can become a new person if you win this fight. And the power to do that is you. The power to do that now is you here. You need to make sure that all the things you've learned may not go easily. We see the aggressive way of he getting to the guy. We did that at a training time, and we used to call it Kole Basa Basa. Kole Basa Basa. He said you must work, be on him explosively. So when we train, anytime we train, we use that. Before finishing the training, you be on a punching bag and you explosively throw a series of punches. And that thing, I always tell them that this is what you are going to use at the important moment. So when it reached there, I remind him that this is the time.
Go all out.
And you can do this to turn your life around. So he also believed in me, and I also believe in him. And we worked together, and he was able to do it. So we get into this Olympics. I always say that Tokyo has been a place where Ghana won its last medal. And I think I've been here and repeat that. We want to repeat that history. That's always that I used to say. We want to repeat that history. Since
last medal in boxing.
Yes.
You're saying.
Yes. And so we want to go there and then repeat.
So you were using that as a psychology?
Yes.
On the boys. So the last time Ghana won a medal in boxing was at Tokyo. And so if we're going back,
we have to repeat history by working very hard to be able to, because people may remember us, even getting there, they know that Ghana won bronze. When we were talking to the Japanese team, we were training together with the Japanese team. They know that we've won bronze there before. And even the coaches, I told them, we have to repeat history. Whatever the situation may be, we must win medal here. And it happened that at the end, we were able to get this medal. We were thinking about it. I think I have been to this studio several times, and I talk about we winning medal in Tokyo. And it happens because we work towards it. We didn't just say it. We work very hard towards it.
Okay. So gradually we're getting there. But I have that question. You know, some talk about the issue with faith in the pugilist profession, the perceived contradiction. How can a man full of religion, you know, go out there to beat up his brother or sister in the ring and still say he's religious and still believes in a God?
Yeah, I think this is life. And that is the way I see it. And it's a sport, which in all aspects of, so even football, it's not fighting, but you see them fighting sometimes. Yeah. And you see some aggressively chasing their opponent, even trying to wound their opponent in terms of tackling and also many things. Sometimes people's leg break. Sometimes people had a serious injury on the field. The same thing, even if you are a driver, you are not going out to beat somebody, but you can find yourself hitting somebody on a road, which you are not happy about it, but it happens. So some of those things, boxing is supposed to be a noble art of self-defense. We call it a sweet science sometimes as well. And so it is like trying to exercise our abilities, but in terms of I'm better than you, you are also better than me. I am supposed to get this bet. I'm supposed to get this cap. I'm supposed to get this crown. But you don't hate your opponent. You don't hate him. There are rules that govern the sport. You have to abide by the rules. You don't go into the ring with knife. You don't go into the ring with guns. You only go there to exhibit the act of boxing. And the act of boxing, it is throwing punches and defending the punches. Sometimes before they start, they shake hands, and sometimes when they finish, they embrace each other. And most of the time, let me tell you, the best boxers are the boxers who doesn't think that they want to hurt their opponent. And they are the boxers who also become champions, because most of the times, because they are not thinking of brutality or killing their opponent, they always come out with the act, the best act, which look finer than their opponent. And you see that when they are overcoming their opponent, it is not because most of them, it's not because they are strong. The best boxers. If you watch Mayweather, you see what I'm talking about. If you saw Muhammad Ali, you see what I'm talking about. When you see some of the great Sugar Ray Leonard, they are all people who use act. They exhibit some sort of quality skills, some antics that is better than your opponent's one. And then out of it, they become winners. And at the end, when you see, sometimes when you talk to Professor Azuma Nelson,
exactly,
you see the way he talks. He's not a wicked person in terms of, he always talk about taking very good care of boxers.
I want to at this point, branch off to. we have the Did You Know segment with Professor Zoom Zoom Nelson, the former WBC featherweight champion, on today's Did You Know segment. And this is what he says about sports and faith. Coach, very interesting. And he says, in a sport where many rely on the supernatural for success, and I did encounter a fair few of such experiences in my time, I genuinely believed only God could see me through. Quite often, I will have visions of how fights will play out, even down to the very round and the exact manner in which my opponent will succumb. And it would, without fail, come true. It is why they call me prophet, nearly as often as they called me professor. He will actually he says at times he will hear a voice, will tell him, go and watch this clip. You see this particular punch. This is how the next fight is going to end. This is how you're going to win. And he alludes to the supernatural here, and I don't know what your thoughts is on this. He's a man you're very, you know him very well from his career, from A to Z, and he's the epitome. He defines Ghana boxing easily. These were his thoughts.
Yeah, it's a great thought. You see, sometimes people who just train, meditate, think about what they want to do in the ring. Sometimes they sleep and then they dream about the fights.
They actually?
Yes, a whole lot of them. Sometimes they dream and then they see themselves on top before even they get into the ring. And you can see it from different angles. Sometimes I see it from the dedication, from the target that they put, and then how they are thinking. Sometimes you watch your opponent fights, and then you adopt some style. And because of your commitment, the feeling you have, you want to win. Sometimes they look back at their family, they look at the country they come from. The family that he can, maybe he's a poor person, he also want to win, he's praying that God must help him also to win. All these things come to play, and sometimes when you sleep, those things happen. You dream about it. I remember Samuel Techi told me he dreamed about the fight before.
Actually dreamt about it?
Yes,
wow.
Dreamt about the fight before we went there. Even though we were training, we were doing so many things. He told me he saw the fight, but he doesn't want to talk to me about what he dreamed about. But he believed that when he talked to me, maybe it will not happen.
Okay, so when it happens and they see these dreams or visions, what does it do to the boxer? It makes them what? Supremely confident they're going to win the fight.
Yes. Sometimes it makes them feel that, hey, sometimes they will tell you, coach, this fight, I will win.
Because he's seen something.
He's seen something. And when you look at his eyes and the way he's behaving, you realize that he has some additional feeling, which is psychological boost. That the way I see it. And so based on that, they put in their all. They put in their all. Sometimes I remember Basti Sameh and Bukum Banku. I was at the corner of Basti Sameh.
Yes.
When we were fighting the 6th round, it has been all over the place that Bukum Banku is going to stop Basti in round 6. We don't know where. Sometimes he claimed he has been to places and they said we'll stop Basti in round 6. So as we were fighting, I know my boxer, he's thinking about round 6, that what will happen in round 6. So when we were fighting, after the round 6, I told him, you see, nothing happened in round 6. So you must also take him on round 7, because he wasn't able to do anything in round 6. So that means what all that he's saying is not true. So let's go.
So
it's
when,
your time
when
now.
the thing backfires, that's trouble.
Yeah, it's your
because
time
I remember
now.
around 7,
Yes.
what Basti did to
Yes.
Bukum.
So we take advantage of. It's like he also put some fears in Basti by telling him he will knock him round 6. But the moment the round 6 didn't happen, that saying of knocking him round 6 also gives him another power that, no, if he cannot stop me round 6, then it means what all that is saying is not true. So I must take over.
Okay.
You see? So the psychological aspect play role. That's the way I see it. But you need to have believe in something. Sometimes, if you don't believe in anything, then you may not have anything to boost you up when the time happens that you have to do something.
Okay.
So sometimes I allow them to tell me whatever they want to tell me, and then I support them in whatever they tell me to be able to make sure that what they are thinking happens.
It's boxing, and it's war. But still, the religious part of it, I think this is where people have the difficulty. You see the mixed martial arts people, for instance, get beaten all over, and people are still saying, well, it's God that allowed me to beat him that way, and I don't know.
Well, that is why sometimes I used to say that it is a sport. You all want to perform. Everybody want to win, and that is why sometimes you see it. But whatever the situation, because religion has also been part of us. Whatever we do, we add it to it.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, we add it to it. So you see yourself boxing, trying to overcome somebody. You are trying to use your skill to be able to overcome him, but you still think that it is God who gave you the power to be able to win. And sometimes I used to say that, well, you can think that way, but the most important thing is that you don't have to hate anybody. You don't have to think that you want to hurt your opponent, or you must always think about your skill that you use to prove yourself to be the better person.
Okay.
And at the end of the fight, never forget.
Sorry.
At the end of the fight, never forget to go to your opponent,
okay,
and then talk to him that you love him, or you want him to know that it is just a sport.
It's just a sport.
It's just a sport.
Okay.
And you happen to come into the ring to exhibit what you've learned.
All right.
So at the end, you'll be friends. I remember there was a saying. There was two soldiers. This is a true story that I'm going to tell you. Two soldiers, and they were all at the time of our former president coup, that is President Rawlings coup, and they happened to see themselves at a different fashion, or different maybe group, and they've been the boxers. They've boxed each other, and one of them used to beat the other person. But when they met at that coup time, the other person who always lost the fight, or who always lose the fight, is the one who is holding a gun, and the other person doesn't have anything. He's hiding at the corner, and he can shoot him and kill him. They fought many times, and he always beat him. But they relate very good to each other. So when he saw him, then he called his name. He said, "It's me. I'm here. It's me, your brother boxer. It's me, your brother boxer." Then he said, "Oh, it's you? Come." And he showed him a way to run away.
To escape.
Right.
Coach, on that note, we'll do a quick break, and when we come back, there's a lot more coming your way. Some studies that talks about what prayer and faith can do for you and the noble art of self-defense. After this. The only three-star IBA certified coach in the country. We're talking about religion and also sports. Now watch this. This is all the way from the year 2000. There's a studies that was done in South Korea, and the graphic will be hitting your screen any moment from now, about religious belief and how prayer reduces anxiety, and how this works, for sportsmen and women. Now in the year 2000, John King Park of Seoul University found that religious belief in prayer not only played a part in reducing anxiety, but also helped athletes in reaching peak performance. The study found that religion and belief has a direct impact on the psychological side of sport. And in fighting sports, this mental element takes on extra significance. This is scientific, and then it goes on to back the point that Coach was making much earlier. Now, I want us to go to one of the classic videos. Classic, because we had Evander Holyfield versus Iron Mike Tyson. Look at the entrance, how they entered, the arena. And so we see the Tyson group coming out, and they go like, Takbir, Allahu Akbar. And then, obviously, these are Muslims, and so they are talking about their faith. They're trying to pump themselves up, psych themselves up before, the match. And then Holyfield comes. He enters with what? Philippians 4:13. That says what? And it's actually written on his robe. If you can look at it, it says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." So everybody believes in their stuff, and they are exuding it. They are making it real. And in the bout itself, we had Holyfield, I'm sure you remember this bout so well. But this is what happens. And, I talk about the contradictions and things like that. But these are two men going on at it, classified. So in that sense, then who wins it? If everybody's religious, for that matter, who gets to win it? Who gets the advantage?
The one who was very focused on his training, the one who was able to use the best antics, the best techniques, it was the one who won. And the one also who was able to, for instance, I used to say that what you believe in, your faith, helps you a lot. And because of that, for instance, you don't say, "I believe in God," and you don't work hard. You don't say, I believe in God, and then you are lazy, you go and hide somewhere, and then you expect God to make you a winner. You see, so you must know that the moment you attach yourself to religion or faith, then you are representing your faith. So make sure that you will not put your faith or your belief into something. I don't know how to put it. The spirit put. So you believe in God and you want to make God happy, so that He will keep on blessing you. So don't go there and then you don't take your training serious. You don't do things that you are supposed to do, and then you go there and you want to win at all costs. So if you know you are not in good shape, you are not preparing well, take God out of it. Don't go there and then go and tell people that God will make you win, and you don't train hard, and you don't do things that you are supposed to do. You know very well. So you are just
We'll do this last one, Coach. I'm sure this will also bring a lot of smiles and a lot of interesting discussions, and still on the psychology and how athletes are affected. So we'll do the very last graphic we have for this edition of the program before we wrap up things quickly. It says athletes with faith have a higher level of consciousness in the sense that they don't always feel defined by the outcome in the competitive arena. They know there is something else greater at play. Even though I may lose or make a mistake, ultimately, eternally, I am at one with God. That belief enables me to be the best that they can be. And so this is from Tom Bates. He's a sports psychologist with Aston Villa in the English Premier League. And that's how we end this edition of Heart and Soul. Coach, many thanks. I mean, the time just moves so quickly with you in the studio. Won't you thank everybody else for making time to watch the show, also being part of the production. I say life is a test, it's a trust, it's very temporal. Seek your maker while you have your bread. Give your life to Christ. And clothing provided by Coffee Gold, the very best in African clothing, the beauty of Africa. Bye for now.